What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everything in between? My name's Tim, and today we're reviewing a new game called Wizard of Legend, developed and published by Contingent 99 Studios. From what I could find on the company, this is their first release, and what a heck of a release it is. This game is amazing. The word classic often gets thrown around a lot in the gaming industry, and honestly, as oversaturated as the word is, I have trouble finding a better word to describe this game. This is what I would describe as an instant classic. Everything feels polished. The gameplay, the controls, the graphics, everything feels tight, responsive, quick. There are very few games I've been able to pick up right off the bat and just feel like I have the controls down. Like, it's a game where I know that every button works and I know that everything is functioning. This was the quickest pick up and play experience I've had in recent memory. This game is very good. The gameplay is amazing. The one disclaimer I will put for people who might be thinking about purchasing this game, it is very hard. And it's not like other games in the same genre, such as Binding of Isaac or Enter the Gungeon, where they kind of give you luck as opposed to just skill. You're able to find an item that might win you a run, or find a item that might push you ahead and save a run. In this game, you will not get that. This is skill-based. You need to know the game, learn the game. They have put a lot of time and effort into crafting all the spells and combinations of spells you can bring into the main dungeon. None of the spells that I've found feel overpowered. They all feel perfectly balanced, whether it be through a long cooldown time, not a lot of damage. Every spell feels perfected. Like there has been time, effort, and care that has went into this game that I have not seen in other games in recent memory. This is just crafted so well. Everything just feels great. I love the variation of the game. Like I said, there's countless amounts of spells and items you can bring into the dungeon. You'll see a few runs in this. Some I did okay on. Most of them I did bad on. Where every run feels different. And you'll see that in the gameplay. Every run I bring different powers. I'm trying different strategies. And that's what this game boils down to. It's trial and error. And mostly error, but a lot of trial. You are constantly trying new styles and constantly being rewarded by it, by the game. It never feels like you're gonna try a style and the game hates you for trying that style and punishes you. There is no set way to play this game. It's whatever your preference is, and that's what I love about it. Some of the detractors I do find in this game, it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong, I love the art style, I love the graphics. I think there's no better art direction they could have taken this game on. However, it does get cluttered sometimes. You'll see in my first little bit of gameplay, I was fighting some enemies blocked by a tree. I had to hit the tree to obscure that blockage. Sometimes it can be a little obscuring, to be honest with you. It does happen quite a bit. There's pixels and particle effects flying everywhere. It can be a bit distracting. Other than that, the art style's amazing. Some other things I do want to shout out the game on are the character designs. I think every character, as you'll see, is designed unique. You can tell what class of enemy you're fighting just by looking at them. You'll see some town gameplay in a minute here. You'll see like all the unique characters you can find in town, in the dungeon. They all feel unique and fun. this game is a well-crafted masterpiece of character design. None of the enemies feel generic. None of them feel like they're just rip-offs of the other enemies. A lot of the elemental enemies feel fun and unique to fight, and that's not something you're going to find in a lot of roguelites, and that's why this one stands out to me as one of the best ones to come out in recent years. Another main detractor of the game is sometimes the repetition. You'll see in the loading screens between stages there's only 3 bosses that you fight throughout the game. There's like the mini bosses every floor, but there's only 3 main bosses. I feel like there's other games where every floor has a possibility of 3 bosses, and there's 1 mega boss at the end of the game in most roguelites or roguelikes. This one has the 3, and they change the order you fight them in. Every dungeon is customized based on the boss you're going to fight next. You'll see in this gameplay footage I have here, my boss that I would fight would be the Earth Person. He's a very hard fight, and you'll see his environment. It's earthy, it's grassy, all the enemies are green. It's much the same with the Fire and Ice boss too. The level design in this game does stick out very well as well. You'll see here, you're going to see a little town gameplay as well as a lot of the spells in the game as I customize my loadout for the next run. The spells are just so varied. I feel like I've basically not cracked the surface, and I have about a dozen spells so far that I can try out. You'll see here, like, the character design. The spell book is a talking book that you talk to. The wardrobe where you pick out your relics is a talking wardrobe. The character design is so perfect in this game, and honestly, that's one of the things I just love, is it's just such a cute game. It can be a little misleading, because you go into this cute game, load up the first dungeon, and then get beat down within 50 seconds. And your first few runs will last mere minutes. You'll see I have a run later on in this review that lasts about 59 seconds, if that. Because I picked the wrong spells, I wasn't playing my best. And that's the thing with the difficulty of the game, you never feel like you died unfairly. Whereas in other games, you'll have your deaths where you're like, okay, that was clearly the game's fault. In this, that doesn't happen. You are determined, and if you die, it's not the game's fault. It clearly feels like you've made a misplay, or picked the wrong spells, or didn't play your peak performance. And that is one of the pluses of the game, is it feels fair, if difficult. Other than that, there isn't much else I can say about the game, other than the gameplay is tight and responsive, the controls are responsive. The one thing I will say, another positive I did notice in this game, the soundtrack. You'll hear it throughout this review. I'll have it kind of low in the background. The soundtrack is a banger. There's no other way to put it. It is amazing, and it fits the tone of the game. It pumps you up. It's everything you could want in a video game soundtrack. That's just one of the extras I noticed. Other than that, there isn't too much more to say about the game. If you were a fan of roguelites or even new to the genre, if you've been watching the gameplay and you go, I could do better than that guy, I would entice you to try, because anybody can do better than me at this game. I would definitely recommend going to pick this up. It's not much. It's about $20 Canadian right now. I would go on the Steam store, the PlayStation store, pick it up. It's an indie game. It's developed by competent developers. This hasn't been talked about by too many reviewers. I haven't seen a whole bunch of coverage for this game yet. Go pick it up. Go pick it up, leave a review, and just tell me how far you get. In the comments, if you want to comment and go, oh, I beat the final boss first try, I would encourage you to, because this is the game I cannot stop watching. I cannot stop playing. I've been addicted to this since I picked it up. So that's my review. If you did like it, make sure to leave a like in the comments below. Or, like I said, comment how far you got your first try. Let's compare notes and get better as players. Let me know what Arcana works for you if you do pick up the game. Thank you for watching. This has been Timothy Huff with Insatiable Gamer. And you have a great rest of your day.